Top 25 Substitute Teacher Interview Questions and Answers. In this video, we will explore the top 25 interview questions that substitute teachers commonly encounter. Each question is designed to assess your teaching skills, classroom management abilities, and adaptability in various educational environments. We will also provide insightful answers to help you prepare effectively. Whether you are new to teaching or looking to improve your interview technique, this guide aims to equip you with the confidence needed to succeed. 1. Can you tell us about your previous teaching or substitute teaching experience? I have had the opportunity to work in various educational settings, including elementary and middle schools. My experience as a substitute teacher has allowed me to adapt quickly to different grade levels and subjects. I have worked with diverse classrooms, which enhanced my ability to connect with students from various backgrounds. I've developed lesson plans on short notice and cultivated a classroom environment conducive to learning. This experience has strengthened my classroom management skills, ensuring that I can maintain a positive and productive atmosphere, even in challenging situations. 2. What grade levels and subjects are you most comfortable teaching? I am most comfortable teaching elementary school students, specifically in grades 3 to 5. My strengths lie in subjects like mathematics and language arts, where I can engage students through interactive activities and discussions. I enjoy creating a positive learning atmosphere that encourages curiosity and critical thinking. My adaptability allows me to tailor lessons to meet diverse learning needs, making subjects accessible and enjoyable for all students, regardless of their individual backgrounds or skill levels. This age group's enthusiasm for learning inspires me every day. 3. How do you prepare for a classroom when you don't have much information about the students or lesson plans? When entering a classroom with limited information, I prioritize establishing rapport with the students immediately. I introduce myself and create an open atmosphere where students feel comfortable sharing their names and interests. Next, I assess the general classroom environment and observe student dynamics. This helps me gauge their engagement levels. I often prepare flexible, adaptable activities that encourage participation, such as icebreaker games or collaborative group work. This approach allows me to connect with students while maintaining engagement, ensuring a productive learning experience despite the lack of detailed plans. 4. Have you worked with students with special needs or diverse learning styles? How do you accommodate them? In my experience, I have worked with students with various special needs and learning styles. I believe in creating an inclusive classroom environment that caters to individual needs. I employ differentiated instruction by providing multiple ways for students to engage with the material. For example, I use visual aids, hands-on activities, and group discussions to ensure all students can participate effectively. Additionally, I maintain open communication with special education staff and utilize individualized education plans, IEPs, as guides to tailor my approach, ensuring every student has the opportunity to succeed academically and socially. 5. What do you find most challenging about being a substitute teacher, and how do you handle those challenges? Being a substitute teacher presents various challenges, particularly the need to quickly adapt to different classroom dynamics and expectations. Each classroom has its own culture, which can be intimidating at first. I handle these challenges by establishing rapport with students through open communication, setting clear expectations from the start, and being flexible in my approach. I also remain observant, learning from the regular teacher's strategies and adjusting my methods as necessary. Building relationships with students helps them feel more comfortable, which in turn fosters a positive learning environment. 6. How do you establish authority and manage classroom behavior as a substitute? Establishing authority as a substitute begins with setting clear expectations from the moment I enter the classroom. I introduce myself confidently and outline classroom rules in a friendly manner. Building rapport with students is crucial. I engage them with questions and encourage participation. Consistency in enforcing rules is key. Students respond well when they know what to expect. I use positive reinforcement to acknowledge good behavior and address disruptions calmly, redirecting students when necessary. Creating an atmosphere of respect fosters a productive learning environment. 7. Can you describe a time when you had to handle a disruptive student? What was your approach? In one instance, I encountered a student who was consistently talking out of turn during a lesson. Instead of reacting with frustration, I approached the situation calmly. I first paused the lesson and calmly addressed the student, asking if they were having a difficult time focusing. I then offered them a chance to share their thoughts at an appropriate moment. This allowed them to feel heard while also reinforcing the importance of classroom respect. After this, I established clear expectations and engaged the class with interactive activities to maintain focus and reduce disruptions. 8. How do you keep students engaged and motivated during your lessons? Keeping students engaged and motivated requires a variety of strategies. I often start with a hook, such as a thought-provoking question or an interactive activity, to pique their interest. Incorporating hands-on activities and group work allows students to collaborate, fostering a sense of community. I also vary my teaching methods, using multimedia resources, games, and real-world applications to connect lessons to their lives. Regularly checking for understanding and providing positive reinforcement encourages participation. Creating a supportive atmosphere where students feel comfortable sharing their thoughts is essential in maintaining their motivation. 9. What strategies do you use to maintain a positive classroom environment? Creating a positive classroom environment begins with establishing clear expectations and building rapport with students. I use proactive communication, such as greeting students at the door and encouraging them to express their thoughts. Incorporating interactive activities keeps engagement high, while positive reinforcement highlights desired behaviors. I also promote inclusivity by encouraging collaboration among students. Regularly checking in with individual students allows me to address any concerns promptly, fostering a sense of belonging and respect, which is essential for a productive learning atmosphere. 10. How do you handle situations where students do not follow your instructions? In situations where students do not follow my instructions, I first assess the context and the reasons behind their behavior. I calmly remind the students of the expectations I set at the beginning of the lesson. If noncompliance continues, I engage the students in a conversation to understand their perspectives and barriers. This approach allows me to tailor my response effectively. If necessary, I may implement a brief timeout or redirect their focus to a more engaging task. Maintaining a respectful and understanding atmosphere is vital in these moments. 11. How do you ensure continuity of learning when stepping into a new classroom? To ensure continuity of learning in a new classroom, I prioritize understanding the lesson objectives and the students' needs. I review any available materials and adapt my approach based on the specific context. Establishing a rapport with students is crucial, so I introduce myself and encourage them to share their prior knowledge. I focus on connecting the lesson with what they already know, using engaging activities that relate to the subject matter. Open communication with the regular teacher before and after my assignment helps maintain a consistent learning experience for students. 12. What methods do you use to quickly assess students' understanding of the material? To quickly assess students' understanding of the material, I utilize a variety of techniques. One effective method is the use of formative assessments, such as exit tickets, where students summarize what they learned at the end of the lesson. I also employ questioning strategies during the lesson, inviting students to respond verbally or through quick thumbs up, down signals to gauge their comprehension. Additionally, I incorporate group discussions, allowing students to express their thoughts and clarify concepts in real time. This immediate feedback helps tailor my approach to meet their needs effectively. 13. How do you adapt lesson plans if the provided materials are unclear or incomplete? When faced with unclear or incomplete materials, I first assess the objectives of the lesson and identify the key concepts that need to be covered. I then draw on my knowledge of the subject to create supplementary resources or activities that align with those objectives. Collaboration with students is essential. I might ask them for input or adapt the lesson based on their interests. Additionally, I prioritize flexibility, allowing room for improvisation based on students' understanding and engagement levels. This approach fosters an adaptive learning environment where students can thrive despite material limitations. 14. Can you give an example of a creative activity or lesson you have used to engage students? One creative activity I used involved a themed science fair, where each student selected a scientific concept they were curious about. They created a simple project, which could include posters, models, or demonstrations, to present to the class. This activity encouraged research, creativity, and public speaking skills. Students worked in pairs to collaborate and support each other. The excitement of sharing their findings with classmates fostered a sense of ownership and pride in their work, while also promoting a love for learning and exploration. 15. How do you incorporate technology into your teaching when available? Incorporating technology into teaching can greatly enhance student engagement and learning. I utilize interactive tools like digital whiteboards and educational apps to present lessons in a dynamic way. For instance, I often use platforms such as Kahoot for quizzes, which allow students to participate actively and learn from their peers. I also integrate videos and online resources that align with the curriculum, providing visual and auditory stimuli. By allowing students to use tablets or computers for research projects, I encourage them to develop tech skills while learning content. This approach fosters a collaborative and interactive classroom atmosphere. 16. How do you communicate with regular teachers to ensure smooth transitions? Effective communication with regular teachers is vital for seamless transitions. I prioritize establishing a clear line of communication before my teaching day begins. This can include discussing lesson objectives, any specific student needs, and classroom routines. I often utilize email or a shared platform for notes and updates. Additionally, I make sure to leave detailed feedback about the day's events, including student interactions and any challenges faced. This helps the regular teacher understand what occurred and allows for continuity in learning. Keeping an open dialogue builds trust and enhances collaboration. 17. How do you handle communication with parents if needed? When communication with parents is necessary, I prioritize clarity and professionalism. I start by providing specific information regarding their child's progress or behavior, ensuring that my tone is positive and constructive. I prefer to reach out through email or phone calls, depending on the situation's urgency. Additionally, I listen to parents' concerns and questions, showing empathy and understanding. If needed, I collaborate with the regular teacher to ensure consistency in messaging and follow up as appropriate, fostering a partnership that supports the student's success. 18. Describe a time when you collaborated with other staff members to support students. During my time at a previous school, I worked closely with the special education teacher and the school counselor to support a student who was struggling academically and socially. We held regular meetings to discuss the student's progress and tailored interventions based on their unique needs. The special education teacher provided insights into effective accommodations, while the counselor addressed social challenges. Together, we developed a comprehensive support plan that included targeted learning strategies and regular check-ins, fostering an inclusive environment that significantly improved the student's confidence and performance. 19. How do you report student progress or behavior to the regular teacher or administration? When reporting student progress or behavior, I ensure that my observations are clear, concise, and objective. I maintain a log of significant events, noting both positive behaviors and areas where students may need improvement. After class, I communicate directly with the regular teacher, providing insights on student engagement, participation, and any incidents that occurred. If necessary, I also use formal reporting tools or platforms to document my observations, ensuring that the information is accessible to administration and can inform future instruction. This collaborative approach helps maintain continuity in student learning. 20. What would you do if you noticed a student struggling academically or emotionally during your time in the classroom? If I noticed a student struggling academically or emotionally, I would first approach them with empathy and care, creating a safe space for them to express their feelings. I would engage them in conversation to understand their specific challenges and assess whether they need additional support. Collaborating with other staff members, I would utilize available resources, such as counseling or tutoring programs. Encouraging open communication with the student's regular teacher would also be essential to ensure continuity of support and to develop a tailored plan to help the student succeed. 21. What would you do if you arrived at a classroom and the teacher's lesson plan was missing? If I arrived at a classroom and the teacher's lesson plan was missing, my first step would be to stay calm and assess the situation. I would quickly check for any notes or materials left by the teacher, as they might provide guidance. If nothing is available, I would draw upon my own resources and experiences to create a simple lesson that aligns with the grade level and subject. Engaging students in an interactive activity or discussion can help maintain a positive atmosphere. I would communicate with the students about the situation, encouraging their suggestions for activities, which fosters a collaborative environment. 22. How would you handle a situation where two students are arguing or fighting? In managing a situation where two students are arguing or fighting, I would first ensure the safety of all students by separating the individuals involved. I would calmly approach them, using a firm yet empathetic tone to diffuse the tension. Once they are separated, I would listen to each student's perspective to understand the root of the conflict. After gathering the necessary information, I would facilitate a discussion to encourage both students to express their feelings and find common ground. Encouraging conflict resolution skills is essential for their personal development and maintaining a positive classroom environment. 23. If a student refuses to do their work, how would you respond? When a student refuses to do their work, I would first approach them calmly to understand the reason behind their reluctance. It's essential to create an open dialogue. Perhaps they feel overwhelmed or uninterested in the task. I would offer support by breaking down the assignment into manageable parts, making it less daunting. Additionally, I might provide choices or alternatives that align with their interests, encouraging engagement. If needed, I would set clear expectations while emphasizing the importance of participation, helping them realize that their contributions matter in the learning environment. 24. How would you manage a classroom emergency or unexpected situation? In the event of a classroom emergency, my first priority would be to ensure student safety. I would remain calm and assess the situation quickly. If necessary, I would follow established emergency protocols, such as evacuating the classroom or securing the area. It's crucial to maintain clear communication, providing students with straightforward instructions while keeping them reassured. If an unexpected situation arises, I would adapt my approach based on the context, ensuring that all students feel supported. After the incident, I would debrief with the regular teacher, sharing insights and lessons learned for future preparedness. 25. What steps would you take if you suspected a student was being bullied? If I suspected a student was being bullied, my first step would be to approach the student privately to express my concern and offer support. I would listen carefully to their feelings and experiences, validating their emotions. Next, I would document the details shared by the student and observe the situation more closely. It would be essential to communicate with the regular teacher and possibly involve school counselors to ensure a comprehensive approach. Maintaining confidentiality is crucial while working collaboratively to create a safer environment for the student. Open communication with the student about the steps being taken would also be important. In navigating the world of substitute teaching, being well prepared for interviews is crucial. The insights shared in this video on the top 25 substitute teacher interview questions and their answers aim to equip you with the confidence and knowledge needed to stand out. Remember, preparation is key to showcasing your teaching skills and adaptability. If you found this information helpful, please give this video a like and subscribe for more valuable content. Your support helps us continue to provide resources that can aid in your teaching journey. Thank you for watching.